It's late winter, early spring 2026, and why does my grass look greener than my neighbor's? Well, the secret might surprise you. The answer, probably not. I fertilize. The real question is what am I putting down different than they are? And before anyone in the comments says it, yes, I know every lawn, every state, every grass type is different. And we're gonna cover all of it in this video, so stick around. The most important application that you can make early spring is feeding your lawn, but more specifically, nitrogen. Nitrogen is that element that starts the engine, and here's why it's the priority right now. When your soil temps are cold, many macro and micronutrients just simply aren't plant available. The biological process that converts them into forms that your grass can use slow way down when soil temps are below 50 degrees. Now, you might be thinking, what if my soil already has nitrogen in it natively? Well, that's a valid question. Even if nitrogen is sitting in your soil, the microbial activity to convert it into a plant available form is also slowed in cold conditions, so the grass still can't get to it efficiently. On top of that, nitrogen is one of the most mobile nutrients on the planet. So rain, snowmelt, wash it right out of the root zone before your grass ever gets a chance to use it, and your lawn ends up still hungry, which is why it looks tired. That dingy brown green that you're staring at right now is the sign. But here's the problem. Many people go out, they fertilize and feed their lawn with the wrong type of nitrogen, and the lawn still looks tired, and that ends today. I started paying attention to what's actually inside the fertilizer bags sitting on the shelves of the big box stores. And what I found was that almost all of them share the same active nitrogen source called urea. And that's where the problem starts. Now, to cut to the chase, the nitrogen source that you want and what the majority of your lawn needs is called ammonium sulfate. And I found this bag right at my local hardware store, Lowe's. It's a 2000 with sulfur. Nothing special, nothing hard to find. I put it on my lawn and my lawn greened up in about a week. It works across most grass types, or more accurately, most soil types. And I'll explain exactly what I mean by that in just a minute. But first, grab whatever bag that you bought, flip it over, and look at the nitrogen source. If it says urea, keep watching. So what's actually wrong with the bag full of urea that you bought? Nothing. In the right conditions, urea is a perfectly functional fertilizer. The problem is a very specific situation that affects a massive portion of the country every single spring. When your soil temperatures dip below 55 degrees Fahrenheit, urea becomes volatile. And here's exactly why. When urea hits your lawn, a naturally occurring enzyme called urease starts breaking it down. Under the right conditions, totally fine. But when your soil's cold below 55 degrees, that process goes sideways. Instead of going into the soil, a significant portion converts to ammonia gas and it floats off into the atmosphere. It's just gone. University of Florida researchers found that you can lose anywhere up to 60% of the nitrogen that you applied. So if you think about that, you'd need to apply nearly twice the recommended amount just to get enough nitrogen into the plant. You're spending twice the money for half the result. And ammonium sulfate, it just doesn't do this. The nitrogen binds to the soil particles instead of floating away. So what you put down is what your lawn actually gets. Same price at the store, dramatically less waste, happier grass, and look, I'm not just telling you on science, the proof is standing right behind me. My lawn has looked like this for weeks now. And that's not luck, that's ammonium sulfate. And the best part about ammonium sulfate is that once it's watered in, the ammonium form binds to the soil particles, stays put, especially in clay soils where the binding capacity is highest. Sandy soils will hold it less, but still significantly better than urea. And unlike urea, which is vulnerable to loss before the plant can use it, ammonium sulfate sits and it waits. So when the plant starts waking up, cool season grasses, believe it or not, are active right down to 40 degrees. So warm season grasses start kicking in around 64 degrees and the nitrogen is already there ready to go, which makes this a perfect partner with a pre-emergent application with anyone dealing with weed pressure coming out of winter. Want to know exactly what your soil temperature is right now? Well, you can pull up Greencast on the internet. It's a free app. Just enter your zip code and you're done. Now, as far as how to apply granular fertilizer, if you're not too familiar with how many pounds on the ground, I'm going to go over that right now. But the number one thing is just don't overthink it. And if you follow these steps, you're going to be just fine. But be warned, if you overapply any nitrogen-based fertilizer, it burns. And we'll get into those details later. But first, you have to know how big your lawn is and how much product needs to go over that area. That's about it. So you're going to pull up Google Maps. You're going to do a context or right click on top of your house. And you're going to choose the measure distance tool to trace your lawn. Square footage is going to pop up in about 30 seconds. Now you're going to also measure out a section of your lawn that's roughly 1,000 square feet because we need to know that indicator. Now, as far as how many pounds of product, for this exercise, we want to start out with about half a pound of nitrogen. And to get there, we're going to use about 2.5 pounds of product for that. A full pound of nitrogen is about 5 pounds, and I'll get into the math in just a little bit in this video. But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna set the spreader to a low to a medium setting, and you're literally gonna walk over that area till all the granular is gone. So if you walk at a regular pace and you have to go over the lawn twice, you know, the next time you can speed up or open the chute up to apply more fertilizer. And the point of this exercise is ultimately when you're putting down this fertilizer, you're gonna wanna see which setting you have that will be the sweet spot. So you can just go over the lawn 1 time or 2 times, depending on how you like to put it down. And that's your calibration run. You just found out the sweet spot for that spreader at that setting, and that number's good for the rest of the growing season for that specific granular size. And then you can scale it up across the rest of your lawn with confidence. Next, we want to water it in. Granular ammonium sulfate is classified as a quick release product. Without moisture, those granulars sitting concentrated on the leaf blade tend to burn after a short amount of time. Science doesn't give us that specific window. From my experience, I've seen dry granulars cause burning after about 48 hours, so it's best to not risk it. And you want to apply the granular when the turf is dry. You're gonna run 1/2 inch of irrigation right after the application. Normally that constitutes somewhere between a 30-minute and 45-minute time window for the average sprinkler system. It's really this easy, but for those of you who really enjoy the nerdy details like I do, we're gonna be taking a deeper dive into the information. Here's where things get interesting because ammonium sulfate works beautifully for most lawns, but the deciding factor isn't just your grass type, it's your soil pH. Ammonium sulfate works best when your soil pH sits around 6.0 or above. Below that, you gradually make an already acidic situation worse. And here's the easiest test. If you go to your local hardware store and they regularly sell lime to raise soil pH, then your soil's likely already acidic. And that's usually the southeast, the Pacific Northwest, and the Northeast. High rainfall regions where water leaches out the calcium, magnesium that keeps pH balanced. Now, if you're in one of those regions, the best nitrogen source to use is going to be calcium nitrate instead of ammonium sulfate. And calcium nitrate delivers nitrogen immediately. It's got a mild alkalizing effect, and your hardware stores commonly carry it. As for how much that goes down, the math is usually the same. Same rates, same method, just a different bag. The rest of the country, the Midwest, the Southwest, Great Plains, Mountain West region, you're generally neutral to alkaline, and ammonium sulfate is your product. When in doubt, a simple soil test will confirm it, and I prefer using a company called My Soil Test, considering it's a full spectrum test that covers not only pH, but nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and micronutrients. But they also test what's plant available and not what's just in the soil. And I'll put a link of the product in the description of the video. That subject of grass types. Not all grass types are created equal when it comes to nitrogen. So here's the breakdown. Centipede, Bahia, and fine fescue. Your spring wake-up rate is actually 1/4 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet or less. These grass types are considered low input grasses, and pushing more nitrogen at them causes stress, disease. So you have to think about it, less is more. Kentucky bluegrass, tall fescue, perennial ryegrass, zoysia, and St. Augustine. You're in the 1/2 pound per 1,000 square foot range early spring, and that's kind of the sweet spot for most lawns across the country. But Kentucky bluegrass in arid western regions where soils are naturally low in nitrogen can need up to a full pound to properly wake it up. Soil simply doesn't have the reserves that eastern soils do coming out of winter. Bermuda, it's a hungry one. It can handle up to a full pound once it's actively growing and fully green, but that 1 pound ceiling applies to quick release nitrogen nitrogen. In my experience across thousands of professional applications, fertilizer burn becomes a real risk at about 1.25 pounds of quick release nitrogen per 1,000 square feet, not product. Going above that, you're not feeding your lawn, you're damaging it, and even slow release nitrogens can pose a risk in applications above 1 pound of nitrogen. And over applying nitrogen doesn't stay in your yard. It burns the grass and may leach into groundwater and runs off into local waterways. So spread wisely, your grass only needs what it can actually use. The math. How do we conclude how much nitrogen we're using of ammonium sulfate or nitrogen per 1,000 square feet? Here's the only math that you need, and I promise it only takes 4 seconds. You're gonna take 100 and divide it by the first number on your fertilizer bag, which is nitrogen. That's how many pounds of product that you're gonna need per 1,000 square feet to deliver 1 full pound of nitrogen. So this bag here is a 20-0-0. So we're gonna do 100 divided by 20. That equals 5 pounds of product per 1,000 square feet for 1 full pound of nitrogen. Now a standard 40-pound bag, it covers 8,000 square feet at that rate. But most lawns don't need a full pound to wake up in the spring. Half a pound is your target. Double your coverage, that same 40-pound bag now covers 16,000 square feet. That's a lot of lawn for one bag. Now keep in mind, centipede grass cuts it in half again, 1/4 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. And centipede thrives on minimal inputs, and the University of Florida research links centipede decline directly to nitrogen overfeeding. So you could even use less than that. Do the math before you load your spreader. 100 divided by the first number on the bag, then adjust for your grass type. And to be clear, this math works great for most fertilizer types, except for it doesn't account for the volatilization losses of urea. Nobody really has a hardline number on how much urea actually volatilizes or evaporates, but climate makes a huge difference. But as a general rule of thumb, you can count on urea losing around 25% on average. And in unfavorable conditions, that number can climb to 40% on up to 60%. So if you're using urea, plug that into the equation. What about those guys online that swear that urea is great for use in spring with colder temps, and they've been doing it for years? Well, the fact is they may not be wrong, but let me explain. There's actually a type of urea called IBDU. I'm gonna butcher this name, but it's isobutylidene diurea. That genuinely is designed for cold weather. And the truth is, they're not wrong. IBDU is a legitimate cold weather nitrogen source. It releases through hydrolysis. Moisture drives it, not temperature. So it works in cold soil in a way that polymer coated urea simply just doesn't. Credit is due where credit is due, but here's the reality for most of you watching. IBDU is a professional and golf course product. It's not sitting on the shelf at your local Lowe's. You cannot just walk in and buy it today. Ammonium sulfate, it's right there on the shelf and it delivers immediately. So until IBDU shows up next to the Scots at your local hardware store, ammonium sulfate is your spring answer, or you'll just have to wait until soil temps get above 55 degrees. And one last thing, if you've had a weed problem in the past and you're thinking about using a combo pre-emergent and fertilizer bag, go for it. Just flip the bag over, check the nitrogen source. Most of those combo bags run urea, but they also have ammonium sulfate in a lot of them. Now you know what that means, but get out on the yard, slay that lawn. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to hit us up down in the comments down below. We love to help you guys out. Till next time, guys, the Pest and Lawn Ginja. We're slaying lawns.